Blarty Blagan.
What? It's in this very ring. Here we go.
That's my baby. I'm dying.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
They did it! They did it!
Left.
What the hell was that?
Oh yeah! What the fuck are you talking about?
Sometimes I really wonder why I do this with you. It's such an issue. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It is Saturday night, and that means it's time for another episode of In This Very Ring. You've got the commissioner himself, the one, the only, the man they call Ritz. I got the mayor of Toasty Town, the one they call Butters. Right below me, 2 Live Brew himself, George Cannon Brew. And from Birds of a Feather, Mr. 6-Star, Mr. Pete Evans. Boys, how we doing tonight?
Woohoo!
Well, I'm going to tell you, I just ate like one of the best meals of my life, so I'm full, I'm relaxed, and I'm ready to talk some pro wrestling. So let's get it on.
He speaks like a member of the Fluffy World Order.
Damn right I am. Damn right I am.
Listen, man, I just had some of Mama's home-cooked smothered chicken wings. Y'all two up there would know nothing about that. You know what I mean?
What is that supposed to mean? What is that
boy
supposed
said
to mean?
smothered.
Run,
Yes,
run
my
that
brother.
shit back. What do you
Yes,
mean?
my brother.
Why is just us two?
I'm just saying. Listen,
What you getting at, huh? What you getting at?
my man to my left on the screen.
We in the South.
I'm in the south of Jersey, but listen, I grew up on the eastern side of Virginia. They didn't call it soda down there; they call it pop. So if you know what I mean.
You know,
When you know, you know.
and I'm from Georgia, so you know we got sweet tea down here and lemonade. So you
That's
already
it.
know what it is.
There's so much wrong with this conversation right up the gate. I love it. So let's thank our sponsors before they pull their sponsorship. My Check Wellness is a product that promotes wellness, balance, and recovery by using the full potential of hemp. They come in extracts, blends, gummies, and topicals. Use promo code A2D for 25% off your order at bodycheckwellness.com. And we got to show some love to Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy. He's our doc. Make him yours. 2 locations, Burlington and Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Sunrise Detox and Counseling Center. They're the place you call if you or somebody you know needs help with mental health or addiction issues. You pick up that phone, you dial 856-651-8117. You tell them A2D sent you and get that help that you desperately need today. Alan Foy of eXp Realty. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, change in career brokerage, contact Alan Foy at 302-682-8820 or check him out on the web at alan.foy@exprealty.com. But tonight is SummerSlam preview, and our SummerSlam preview poll question is brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. And what is our poll question? SummerSlam rivals WrestleMania in popularity and legacy. Agree, disagree? Boys, lay it on me. Butters, we're going to start with you.
That's a cold question. That's a cold question there, Rich.
Why?
Now,
I'll tell you in a minute.
so SummerSlam rival WrestleMania in popularity and legacy. You know, I have to kind of agree. I have to agree. I mean, I feel like to me, SummerSlam is always, I felt it's been more bigger than WrestleMania. They always tend to put a lot more into it in my perspective. Yes, WrestleMania is big. Yes, WrestleMania is always the, but I always prefer the event of the summer. I always prefer, SummerSlam over WrestleMania, as great as WrestleMania is.
Okay. All right, Pete, George, who's going next?
I set it off. I let my brother get himself together. Some. I'll kick it off. You know what? I'm gonna say I disagree. Or no, not disagree. Sorry. No, yes, I am gonna say I do
Damn
disagree.
it, man. Get it together.
See this food, man. See, it's got my brain all, But no. The reason why I disagree, the reason why I disagree is because you got to think about it, right? We're talking about WrestleMania. We're talking about the Super Bowl, the World Series, the Stanley Cup of professional wrestling. Well, what's that old saying that I used to say? This is where legends are made. This is the
This
showcase
is where
of the immortal.
legends were born and superstars become immortal.
There you go. It's the showcase of the immortals. Like, what more can you say? I mean, let's think about it, gentlemen. Let's think about how many WrestleMania moments we've experienced throughout our adult lives since we've been watching wrestling compared to SummerSlam. And taking nothing away from SummerSlam. SummerSlam has produced some of the greatest moments in professional wrestling. But let's look at this for example. Shawn Michaels wins the WWE title for the first time. Boyhood dream comes true. Okay, I'll even take it back further than that. Let's talk about rest in peace. The legendary Ultimate Warrior beats Hulk Hogan, the Hulk Hogan, when he was at the top of his career. 1990, I'm talking about. Clean in the middle. Nobody thought it could be done. Wins the World Wrestling Federation Championship at that time in front of a sold out crowd in what is it, the Sky Dome in Toronto.
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, even going back, speaking of Hogan, let's go back when Hogan first got made. Andre the Giant, WrestleMania 3, Pontiac Silverdome, Pontiac, Michigan. Still, the record still has not been beaten to this day. Body slam heard around the world. Yeah, it's no comparison. I mean, we'll even take it back to WrestleMania 14 when Stone Cold got made. You want to talk about superstars become legends. Who will ever forget seeing Mike Tyson, as fast as it was, count the 1, 2, 3 for Stone Cold Steve Austin? I mean, come on. Is there really a comparison for SummerSlam and WrestleMania? Nah. It's like apples to oranges or donuts to bagels. I don't know. Something like that.
It's this round that got a hole in it, huh?
I'm fucking using that.
I'm actually going to agree. And I'll tell you why. I can respect both in their own positions because I don't think this question is posed to be if SummerSlam is better than Mania. But when we say rivals, hell yeah, rivals. I'll give you back, just like George said, WrestleMania 14, Stone Cold doesn't get there if Owen Hart doesn't botch the tombstone in the SummerSlam, I think a year and a half or maybe 2 years prior.
That's true.
Let's also talk about SummerSlam 97. Had the infamous swerve job with Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker with Bret Hart. That set up Hell in a Cell. That set up Kane. We don't have that if that doesn't happen at SummerSlam. Let's go back. SummerSlam 92, Wembley Stadium. WrestleMania has yet to be brought to you overseas like that in that fashion. British Bulldog, that actually had IC title. I can go back to SummerSlam 90, Kerry Von Erich, Texas Tornado, rest in peace, Mr. Perfect. The year after that, SummerSlam 91, Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect. Classics, 92, Bret Hart versus British Bulldog, also rest in peace. We got Legion of Doom winning their only tag team titles, I believe, at SummerSlam.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. Heart Foundation as well. See, the thing is with WrestleMania, and I say why rivals is because we expect WrestleMania to be the GOAT. We expect WrestleMania to be big. SummerSlam, you don't know what you're going to get. Now, there's some duds in there as well, but SummerSlam 2011, we had CM Punk and John Cena. You know what I mean? That's what we had. I think it was actually that was the unification, that was the undisputed, and that led to that run. CM Punk isn't made and about to show up, and you know where on next Friday in Chicago in the United Center. You know what I mean? There is no CM Punk without that. You see what I'm saying? So when we look at SummerSlam versus WrestleMania, I think we have to look at it in the context as, yes, it's SummerSlam's, it's WrestleMania's little brother, but it damn sure stands on its own. Damn sure stands on its own. And we'll see it. We'll see it next Saturday, a week from tonight. They're putting on a bigger production for this year's SummerSlam than they did for Mania. So let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get that. You don't get that every year, but the expectations we have for WrestleMania coming into it is a little bit different. Look, David Roscoe finally said something credible. Triple H versus The Rock at SummerSlam 98. You know, I mean, we could go Owen versus Brett, WrestleMania. I mean, SummerSlam 93,
94.
94, 94.
94.
All right,
Because
SummerSlam
remember,
93.
SummerSlam 93 was Yokozuna and
Lex
Lex.
fucking Express. That's
Yeah.
what SummerSlam 93 was. You talk about the body slam heard around the world. Rest in peace, Yokozuna as well. But that was something that happened the lead up to that. See, like WrestleMania, we had the payoff. We always had the payoffs. You saw what you saw, and that was the payoffs. But SummerSlam sometimes it's a little bit different. It gave them a little bit more freedom. We had Randy and Elizabeth's wedding. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
Jake the Snake's turn. Right there, we got the Cobra biting him at the wedding reception, whatever the so-called wedding reception. You feel what I'm saying? So you have so many different things. And if I'm not that didn't happen at SummerSlam. I know I'm leaving out so many more moments that we had.
I give you an underrated one. I give you an underrated one, Pete. Who will ever forget? And I know nobody talks about this. Who will ever forget the one night Virgil went over or was made when he beat Ted DiBiase? Now, gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, Virgil was the ultimate jobber, the ultimate enhancement talent. He is. He was the ultimate enhancement talent / jobber in WWE. But for that one night at SummerSlam 91, the same SummerSlam that Bret Hart defeated Mr. Perfect and became a made man and won the Intercontinental Championship. That pop when he pinned DiBiase's shoulders to the mat, I still get goosebumps. And I don't like Virgil for anything in this world. But for that one night at SummerSlam, he was a made man. There's no denying that.
That match was right after. If you look at SummerSlam 91, you're going to be hard pressed in that era to find a better SummerSlam.
True.
Because Warrior came back that day. That night.
He did.
Well, all right. So before I give my answer, let's pop into the comments real fast. You guys are giving me great stuff. I almost feel like I don't even have to answer. Jake sends us all a drink. Tom says, all the fam on, love it. He says, calls us the bad boys of wrestling. Swear to God, that's a line from the Wolfpack theme song. Pretty sure. Brian says, good morning from Scotland. Good morning, Brian. Thank you for joining us.
Top of the morning, laddie.
He says, let's chat. Bring it on, buddy. Mike says, Roman's going to win. He's carrying the show. I can't disagree with him at all.
Yeah.
Dynasty, what's up with the orange tea? I've never seen it up north. What orange tea are you talking about?
I know you ain't talking about sweet tea.
Orange tea.
All right, we'll come back to that. Big E's gonna cash in on Reigns or Cena. Tom disagrees to the poll. Haley says it's a full house. Tom says Manscaped the GOAT. Dynasty disagrees. Says a Rumble even beats SummerSlam, and Jake echoes him a little bit later when he says that the Royal Rumble is closer. Frank says that the Summerfest is the Robin compared to WrestleMania, the Batman. I don't know how I feel about that.
What is Summerfest, Frank?
What is that?
It's Frank. I stopped asking questions a long time ago. Pete, you should know better. Dynasty
I just want to be entertained. That's all.
Dynasty says, side question, is Brock Lesnar Mr. SummerSlam?
Ooh.
That's a really good question.
Recently, yes. But before that, I would say Bret Hart.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
Or could you say Hogan? Hogan was because remember, up until I forget who that was that he lost to at a SummerSlam, Hogan was undefeated. He was like the Undertaker. He never lost at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
No, Shawn went over for him, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Broadcast chiming in all the way from Australia. And Daly says he's impressed by everybody knowing what happened and what event and what year it happened. Well, Daly, that's what happens when we actually prepare for a show. You should try it.
No prep over here. No prep.
I mean, I does this.
Guys,
so.
I was trying to just insult Daly. Can I have my moment?
Well, what was his birthday is today, so let him have today.
That's even more reason to do it.
Come on, man.
That's like Vince booking you to lose in your hometown.
Exactly. What better way to give Brian Daly some of that Philly love that he's missing on his new adventure than to just say he doesn't prep for hockey happy hour?
Right.
Damn.
Wow. Now, real quick, Andy, before you keep going, the one comment that we say Rumble sets up Mania, that's not really adding argument. That's not adding fuel to your argument if you think that SummerSlam, you disagree with this poll. Because once again, SummerSlam stands the fuck alone on its own. It's not setting up shit.
So here's how I look at it, right? I agree that it rivals WrestleMania. Hold on. Do have to shout out Space City Wizards. They're about to go live with some, I think they do like drunk Overwatch on Saturday night. But they saw us on. So
I love
they
it.
wanted to drop in
it.
and say hi. What's up? Big shout out to Carlos and his team over there. But let's back up, right? I think it absolutely rivals because take a look at it this way. We are all sports fans here. And we all agree that that WrestleMania is the Super Bowl. It's the Stanley Cup. It's, as George was saying, it's the championship game. It's the end all be all. We've always said it, that's where stories end and the next night new ones begin.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at SummerSlam, I look at it as
the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl. I mean,
right, like it's almost like a bowl game. It's almost
Butters.
like
I like that.
I don't want to say like the All-Star game because in recent years the All-Star games and the Pro Bowls just don't matter anymore.
Right.
But what the hell? Oh, that's right. George is outside. I heard a car honk. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Some of the locals are out. Just ignore them.
But it's one of those things to where SummerSlam kicks off our season almost.
Right.
Because we can all agree from May to August, right? End of July, early August. It's rough being a wrestling fan.
Yep.
It is.
Because you're just
When there's only one organization, there is.
Even when there's multiple organizations, though, it's rough. Because none of them are really doing anything.
Everybody kind of wants to. It's the summertime. Everybody wants to kind of do a little more family time. Everybody wants to kind of lax off until until they wanted to. It's like the
everybody's
summer.
Going
the
out,
end of summer kicks off.
Things, everybody's traveling, but then the other thing is there's no event to book your shows around. Let's be real. People take WrestleMania. And if you've ever been to a WrestleMania city during WrestleMania, you can literally book some kind of wrestling event every minute of every day.
That's true.
Right? If you're smart about it.
You're right.
SummerSlam is growing to be that way as well. Royal Rumble is growing to be that way as well. Right? Mm-hmm. Survivor Series still isn't there yet, but Survivor Series, it's always around a holiday. It's tough. Right? It's a Thanksgiving classic. Right, but with SummerSlam, it is truly that event where everybody's back, everybody's getting ready for school or has just gone back to school. We're home, we're watching TV, we're watching the product, we're back invested, and we kick off with what is always, there's something to take back from a SummerSlam, right? There's at least one moment. We've all talked about it tonight. WrestleMania, I can pull 3 or 4 or 5 different moments. That's understandable. It's WrestleMania, right? You always remember the Super Bowl. You always remember what happened there. But you don't always remember week 1 or that specific Rose Bowl. You remember
or the NFC or AFC championship.
Exactly.
If you're an Eagles fan, you remember 5 NFC championships games. So.
And some people remember all of them because it was either the greatest day of our lives or none of the worst day of our lives.
You're in bed by like 5 o'clock, like I was.
Because you cried yourself to sleep.
Or you're sitting on the edge of your chair going, "Oh God, please don't fuck this up. I don't want to be in the group chat tonight. I don't want to. Oh, I can't handle this."
Yes.
Right. So, and then when they started going to California, and it started being a staple of the Staples Center, right?
God.
That's when, in my opinion, they elevated themselves because now they're on the West Coast. Now they're able to do a little bit more with time and different things like that. They want to go on earlier. They can get away with it. You started seeing longer, bigger productions because Staples Center is huge.
Yeah.
Right? In comparison to some of these other places they were running.
That's true.
And then Barclays Center. Right?
Yeah.
Barclays Center was new. It was fresh. It's in New York. And in my opinion, New York will always be wrestling mecca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
whether it's
In
Barclays
3 letters.
Center, or it's MSG.
MSG.
Right?
Yep.
That will always be wrestling mecca. It's New York, Chicago, which we're gonna see often.
Right.
I
Yep.
think Philly you put on that list. Houston is like a sleeper in there, right? People don't remember that certain events were in Houston. They
Right.
remember the events, but it's not until you say, "Well, that was in Houston because I was there."
Yeah.
Right?
Is that you saying that all the time? That it was in Houston because I was there?
Well, yeah.
Just saying.
But then it's also you have Los Angeles.
Okay.
California as a whole, right? Because they do well no matter what city they're in California. But California is a wrestling state as well. Those are your big markets. Those are your big demographics, right? And once we started really focusing on those demographics, you started seeing a better movement, right? A better SummerSlam. I'll never forget it. I don't remember the year, right? But it was DX coming out on the tank at SummerSlam.
Oh man.
Wasn't that when they were taking on Vince?
I don't remember.
Yep.
That had, I want to say it had to be like 20.
2011.
I
2011.
knew it was,
2011,
they were in the
2012?
Staples Center. That's why I don't remember what it was.
It was DX versus. It was DX versus Shane
Here,
and
I got
Vince.
it here.
I remember that.
It wasn't 11. I just looked at 11.
Oh.
12. It wasn't 12 either.
Was
it like 8? Was it 2008? 2009?
Nah,
You know
because
what it might have
Trips was
been?
still Trips then. He was still Trips then.
Oh.
I wonder if maybe like 2014.
It's not 14. I'm looking at 14 right now.
Not fit. It wasn't definitely not 15.
It definitely wasn't 15.
Because I think Sean was going by then.
2009. No, 09.
09?
Was it 09?
Yep.
That's right, because that was the first Staples Center show.
DX SummerSlam 2009 entrance.
Yep. That's right. It was against Legacy.
Okay.
Oh, against Legacy. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
I remember the tag. It always meant something. The tag.
Right.
You know.
You have DX tank, the Rusev tank. I mean,
tags are a thing.
Yeah.
We refer to him as Miro now, sir. He's forever Miro.
Rusev, Miro, whatever.
The Redeemer.
The Redeemer. That's right.
God's favorite champion.
He needs to patent that name like now. He needs to trademark that name now.
Right. Yeah, that's a cold name.
That's a cold name. That's merch. That's game. Anything. You know who that is.
Anything. You know who that is.
Yeah.
But so I have to agree. I think that SummerSlam 100% rivals WrestleMania, right? Because the Royal Rumble, while yes, it's historic, it's legendary, everybody gets excited for it. We all know that all Royal Rumble serves the purpose of is to set up the road to WrestleMania, right?
Right.
SummerSlam
road is key. That's the key word. Road.
Huh? Right. The
That's
road. Right. I look. If we want to put it in sports terms, right? I look at Royal Rumble as the start of the playoffs.
Oh, okay. Right.
You have this. You have that be your start of your playoff season.
Right.
You know, your wild card game, so to say. You know, I wouldn't say wild card game because I'd almost say Elimination Chamber has become the wild card game.
Okay.
You know,
that's
like
good.
A playing game. Like a playing game.
Or playing game. Yeah. You know, but that's how I would look at it. And I look at SummerSlam as week 1, the kickoff, your season premiere. And you always have to bring out the best. NFL does it with the Thursday night kickoff game. They bring out the winners from last year and what they hope is a good team to put up against them for this year. Right? And that's what we get Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a few weeks, actually.
Yeah. And even like when we speak about the road to WrestleMania, if we go back to, I want to say, 2013's WrestleMania. For one, people are saying Royal Rumble, like you said, you very eloquently said, Royal Rumble sets up WrestleMania. That's the road. Hell, there's some years where the road to WrestleMania starts at SummerSlam 2013. Daniel Bryan goes over John Cena. Randy Orton cashes in Money in the Bank. That took us all the way to WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, But here's the kicker, right? Hindsight, looking back, right?
Right.
Yes, we saw it go to WrestleMania. In the moment, though, none of us could have said they're gonna ride this wave all the way out to WrestleMania. I don't
That's
think
a good
they were
point.
saying
That's
I
very
don't think
unlike
they were
them to do
saying
that.
until probably like October, November. Once the Yes movement really started to
Right.
form, that's when we said, you know what, they've got something here. If they don't fuck this up, you could ride this out to WrestleMania.
True. Have we ever had a cash in at Royal Rumble?
No.
No.
Okay.
But another point that I just thought about too, fellas. I believe who is it? I forget who it was that just said this, but oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. No, but I was gonna say that no, you said no, Andy. It was you, Ritz, that said WrestleMania is where stories end.
Stories end and new ones begin the next
But
night.
but you could say the same thing about SummerSlam too.
Yep.
Well, yeah,
Because
absolutely.
let's go back. Let's go back.
I mean, you can say the same thing about all pay-per-views, honestly.
You
No,
could,
not
but
anymore.
SummerSlam in particular. Let's go back to SummerSlam 02. Who will ever forget this rivalry? Shawn Michaels and Triple H, the unsanctioned match.
Oh,
Yep.
that was the best. That was the best part of SummerSlam 02.
Yeah,
That rival. I couldn't even tell you what the championship match was that night.
I got it right here.
that was the
Was it
Rocket.
Rock
That was the
versus
Rocket.
Lesnar.
That was the Rock
Rock
versus
and Lesnar,
Lesnar.
right?
That was when Lesnar won.
Became a made man that night.
Yeah, but think of from like end right. So I would say May till the end of July.
Mhm.
That's the summer league, right? The NBA summer league,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're seeing teams play and everything like that, and it's great and it's fun to watch. But none of it matters until the season kicks off.
True.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So,
Or you could put it as like WrestleMania would be like your Monday Night Football, and maybe like SummerSlam could be like your Sunday Night Football, because either way you're gonna have your best players, your best superstars on
See, I
two of
flipped
their
that.
programs.
see, to me, Sunday Night Football has more pomp and circumstance behind it.
It's
than
the best
Monday Night Football
broadcast
does.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
As you
like,
say, especially
I'm more
since
prone
especially
sit
since
down
you
and
put the
watch
Super Bowl
Sunday
on a
night.
Sunday, anyways.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm
Which
more
Super Bowl
prone-
should be on Saturday, by the way. I just want to throw that out there, NFL. Put the shit on Saturday.
Save that shit for Birds. Talk about that shit on Birds. This is more sports talk than I ever thought we would do on this show.
You keep bringing sports up.
Well, because I'm showing that I pay attention. I'm trying to get
Do
some credit
you?
from the. I'm trying to get some brownie points from the
Comparisons.
boss. Just let me do my little ass kissing moment, and we'll move on.
Is that what the little brown spot on your nose is?
No, that's a pimple. Thanks, dickhead.
Or did you eat too much of the chocolate batter?
Oh, you're gonna go down this road?
Lord.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Lord.
Butters wants to play tonight, boys.
Oh, Lord.
No, but I'm more prone to sit down and watch a Sunday night football game than I am
Okay.
a Monday night football game.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
it's because I think what helps them is there's nothing the fuck else on Sunday night.
It's not a pay-per-view. Yeah.
There ain't dick on. So, but
I
let's
agree.
get into this week in wrestling. Okay, I think
Okay.
that might be our
Yeah.
longest question ever.
Yeah.
So normally we just kind of start at Monday and work our way through,
Mhm.
right? But I can sense that my Georgia friend really wants to talk some AEW.
I do. I'll be honest.
So we're gonna skip Monday. We're gonna skip Tuesday.
Okay.
We're gonna skip half of Friday, and we're just gonna dive right in to
the 3
AEW
hours of
Dynamite,
AEW.
and in the 3 hours of AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage.
Okay.
Right,
Great
George-
shows.
George. I've never done this, but I'm gonna let you just kind of take us and lead us. You lead the conversation for this.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, Ritz, and I will be very happy to do so. So, like I was just saying, AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage this past Wednesday and Friday were phenomenal shows. We'll start off with Dynamite first. We kicked it off with a 6-man tag. The Elite going up against Matt Sydal, and who was the other guy?
The one Dante Martin,
Dante Martin, right, from Top Flight.
20
Excellent.
years old.
20 years old. Phenomenal 6-man tag. That's probably one of the better trios matches I've ever seen, let alone one of the better trios matches I've seen to kick off a pro wrestling broadcast.
Yes.
I mean, Dante Martin looked like a bona fide star. I mean, a shining star. I mean, from the big spots to the hot tags to the near falls, you name it. This dude was just shining all over the place. And I truly believe Matt Sydal is one of the more underrated professional wrestlers in professional wrestling. Like, I remember him when he was Evan Bourne back in WWE, and I still believe, he did not get his just due, but I'm glad Tony Khan was smart enough to pick up this guy and bring him to All Elite Wrestling, because that guy, he definitely belongs there, and he's definitely earning his keep. And his brother is not too bad either. So I really enjoyed that match top to bottom.
Yes.
And then, like, to put the lemon on top of the tea, you had Christian come out there and lay the groundwork for Rampage. Now, this is what threw me for a loop. Now, for all of you people out there, and all of you in this very ring viewers that are WWE people that think that AEW's booking is over the top, let me prove you wrong right now. Because when Christian came out and he had that in-ring segment with Omega, I did not have any idea. I didn't even see him challenging Omega for the Impact Championship coming. Right. I thought he was straight up talking about challenging Omega for the AEW Championship on Rampage. I'm like,
I did too.
My goodness.
I did too.
Yeah. And I was thinking like, oh shit, we're going to get this on Rampage. Oh my gosh. Like, wow. But
right.
when he said Impact Championship, I said, okay, that's a nice little swerve.
Right.
And I started to put one and one together. I said, okay, he's going after the Impact Championship. Okay, Kenny's getting kind of burned out from all of the traveling back and forth from Nashville to wherever AEW is. So Christian is coming to take the load off of him, give him a little breather. That's smart. I applaud Tony Khan and the rest of AEW Creative for doing that. So phenomenal setup to the championship match. Then you had Jungle Boy speaking up for the Jurassic Express. They're going to put the titles on the line against the Young Bucks next week on Dynamite. I'm going to tell you right now, as good as this run has been for the Bucks, and as much as I love seeing them with the AEW Tag Team Championships, they got to crown Jurassic Express. This crowd has been begging for it. They've been begging to scream and pop for these guys 2 years in the making. Make it happen, Tony Khan. Crown these two.
They're setting up. I feel like they're setting up this week's Dynamite in Houston to be one of the best Dynamites they've had. Like, this card is just stacked.
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like they're trying to treat it like it's a Raw MSG show. Now, the one thing about the opener and the whole aftermath of Christian Cage, and this is nitpicking, and I'm not saying I'm just pro WWE or AEW, which I'm not. I'm pro wrestling overall.
Right.
The Slidell brothers they telegraph it too much when they were sitting outside waiting for Dante to take the pin and then running late. Which is it's nobody's fault that's out there in the ring.
Right.
The production truck should go to a different camera angle or something. That's Tony Khan sometimes with his eyes getting too caught up into what he's watching as a fan and not seeing how it comes across. Now, the other thing I didn't like, as soon as Christian said Scott D'Amore, I knew what was happening for Rampage. I knew what was happening for him, and I knew that he was going over, which they're not going to have him lose before All Out. Now we know how All Out's main event is going to end. Kenny's going over.
Of course.
You see what I'm saying?
Of course.
So That's the only downside. That watching the matches and the setup, I loved it. That's the only kind of thing where I think that they kind of telegraphed it, where Kenny having all these straps kind of backed him into a corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, there was some talks of maybe, I probably even thought maybe they could do no contest on Friday. I'm glad to see that he went over clean on Friday. But at the same time, now I'm like, shit, we know what's going to happen at All Out. You know what I mean? Like, we know what's going to happen. And if they don't put it on last, then cool. I can't have that main event, because I think that outcome is now so predictable, because there's not, especially who AEW caters to, that 18 to 49 demographic. We all know that Kenny's going over. He's not losing twice.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He's not losing twice. So, you disagree?
I disagree.
Okay.
I said this on this program, Butters, what, a month ago?
At least a month ago. Could have been soon, older.
It was right around the time where it was Jungle Boy versus Omega.
Okay.
Yep.
Booked it out. We booked the downfall of Kenny Omega. Kenny was gonna lose everything, and it was gonna start. We thought it was gonna start with the AEW title.
Okay.
Right. We thought he was gonna drop it to Jungle Boy. Right. But then I had Impact next. I have him losing tonight to Andrade at AAA. Right. And
is that match going on right now?
It's happening soon.
Okay.
Right.
I should say it's happening soon. I've been keeping up with it. Deonna Purrazzo,
she won
new
tonight,
AAA Mania champion.
She's a double champion. But we booked out the downfall of Kenny Omega, and ultimately it's going to end with the last title he was going to lose was going to be the AEW World Title. Right? Had he not lost it to Jungle Boy, had it not started with that, he was going to end it with that. He was going to go away for a little bit, right? Because he deserves time off. He's going to take the time off, and he was going to come back as the cleaner. He was going to get rid of this whole I'm gaudy, I'm this, I'm over the top. Like, I hate this Kenny Omega. I'm supposed to, but I hate this Kenny Omega.
Me too. Yes.
It's kind of cheesy. It's kind of WWE.
I think it's more because I just can't stand Don Callis with a fiery, burning passion of 1,000 suns.
But that's great. That's great. Great. He's doing his job.
Yes.
I completely agree. And I respect him. I respect the hell that he can do that and get the reaction out of me. Like, even though, like, I know he's doing his job, I'm like, I still fucking hate you. I hate seeing you on my screen. Right? But I think he's going to go away, separate himself from Don, kind of separate himself from his little entourage that he has, and come back as the New Japan Kenny the Cleaner Omega.
Blonde streak and everything?
Fucking everything.
Hey, it'd be something good to see.
Yeah.
It really would. It really would.
Because I don't think the AEW fans would know what to do with that Kenny Omega.
No.
Do you think the AEW fans aren't already aware of
Oh no, I think they are. I don't think the American fans would know what to do with Kenny Omega. I'll broaden that.
I totally agree with you. So going on from that, we had a couple of promo segments which I thoroughly love. The first one I'm going to get to, obviously, is Malachi Black. I mean, can we just go ahead and agree? From the time he's been here, this guy has been like the superstar of the month. I mean, from the match with Cody to this promo this week, I mean, this guy has been Mr. UPS. He has delivered. Okay,
bringing up the boot, showing the boot that he still has is amazing.
That is amazing. And the line that I love the most, the coldest line that he said before he ended that interview, was he said, Cody, we're both lonely men, but you're lonely because you surround yourself with people. I'm lonely because I find solitude. Ooh!
Two totally different things.
That hit home, boy. I said, this dude, this guy, Malachi Black, is reborn in AEW. Yes. Yeah. And the whole, you got one foot in the grave. Tell me when you want to put the other one in there. Oh my gosh. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Like, if this guy is not in the main event within the next 2 or 3 months, like, something is wrong. Like,
And that's the thing. They have so many. Because at some point, MJF is going to get a title reign.
absolutely.
But they have,
MJF doesn't get a title shot by this time next year, we are seriously doing something wrong.
right, and that like Malachi, Alistair, Tommy, and whatever you want to call them, they have so
Zelina
many
Vega's
heels.
husband.
But the thing is with AEW as a whole is they make everything mean something.
They do. They do.
From
Preach.
every match, it means
Preach.
something, and that's what we talked about in the green room before we came on. That's where it's just logical shit. This is not hard. Tony Khan and them
Nah.
are they're doing Kiss. They keep it simple, stupid. You see what I'm saying?
They do.
They make they make it feel vested. They make it feel
And
vested.
Pete-
Even the QT Marshall segment. Now I know you'll get to it. That was vested. It meant
Yes,
something.
it was. It was. And I'm gonna tell you this too. I'm gonna tell all y'all this. Since we're making predictions, Ritz, I am going to predict right here on this very ring. You've heard it here from the mouth of Two Live Brew himself. By this time in 2022, Malachi Black will be your new TNT champion. He is going to be the guy to
Yeah.
Bam! Hold the fuck on. I said this last week.
We did. George wasn't here last week, so it don't count.
Yes, he was. This motherfucker
Yes,
was
I
on
was.
the show last week.
Yes.
He was
Yes,
here
I
last
was.
week.
I'm pretty sure last week those words came out of my mouth.
But at the
I
same
think
time,
they
though,
did.
Ritz. But at the same time, though, Ritz, were you really sure when you said it?
Yes,
Ooh.
because I flat out told you. I was
Damn.
like, Malachi, because I agreed with you. Malachi is white hot right now, right? He's unstoppable. Everything he's putting out is gold, right? You can't insert him into the title picture right now because they have their thing going on with Jungle Boy and Christian
Right.
Cage, and there was too many people in that little role. Miro's doing fuck all over here,
Yeah.
right? He's got great promos and everything like that, but what's he doing? We
Again,
said-
what did I say last week? What I say last week, Ritz, about Miro? What did I say he needs to do?
Repeat.
He needs to
yourself.
have that moment. He's
Right.
missing
He
that
needs to have
moment.
the moment, right? And we all said that Rampage was going to be the show for the TNT champion. It was going to be Miro's show.
Yeah.
That's where he was going to get his moment. Whether it was putting Malachi Black over and having, because we agreed that having your moment doesn't necessarily mean you win a match.
No,
True.
You can
no,
have the best match of your life and still lose.
absolutely.
Right.
Like, you take this week's Rampage for example. Fuego del Sol. He had his moment this week.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Even in the loss, he had his moment.
He did. And
Because he still got the Sammy Guevara rub afterwards.
there
Yeah.
you go. There you go.
Exactly.
But I just had to put that out there. That because I'm gonna tell you what. I'll tell you, the fans are itching to cheer Miro. He's got this whole Redeemer heel gimmick right now, but that is going to change here very, very soon. Because I got a little. I read between the lines of that Malachi Black promo, and I don't know if y'all did the same, but I read it between the lines. I think he was indirectly talking about Miro because when he
I
said,
do think they're on the collision course though.
yes,
Mhm.
because when he said, "Whoever I choose to appear, whoever I choose to appear in front of next, I'm gonna make you feel desolate," and all of these things that he said, and he was using this real spiritual terminology. I was like, he's talking about Miro. That's what he's talking about. That's what he's got to be talking about. It's inevitable.
The only thing is when they do see the Redeemer portion, like you said, I think it's run its course as a heel. So
Right.
the Redeemer works better when just a long view, when he's a face. When he's working as a face, because then you got natural heels that he can redeem. These guys are naturally bad. You feel what I'm saying? And that's where I
Right.
think Malachi comes in. But the one thing we hear with Miro's promos every time is his hot wife. When the hell are we going to see her? I think I would probably say she has like 4 more weeks before she can't compete.
Right.
We
I
see
think
her
so.
on Twitter and Instagram. I'll tell you that much.
But So I've been, like I said, I follow her on Twitter, I follow her on Instagram, and she occasionally appears on my TikToks, right? Now, probably in the last week or so, she started using AEW hashtags. Right?
Ooh,
Oh, she's close.
Do you want to see me on AEW? Do you want to see me with my husband? Right? She starts teasing it more and more and more over the last week or so, at least of what I've noticed. Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes
now
I don't
here's
make it to the caption, but I noticed.
Now here's the only thing, Rich. Now let me drop this on you. Now let's say Lana does make a shocking appearance on an AEW Rampage, since we're dubbing it Miro's show now, unofficially, right? So let's say she does make a shocking appearance on Rampage one Friday. Now, how is this going to fit into the equation of Malachi? Because Zelina is already with WWE. She's signed, sealed, delivered. So where would she fit in the scheme of things if they were to bring her in alongside? Now, what we could see is we could take it back to an angle.
How's this man going to ask me a question and then answer the fucking question himself?
Oh, shit.
You sit your craft beer looking ass down right there and you let me answer.
Damn!
I've been waiting on that. The whole time. Now I'm officially
motherfucker.
Now I'm officially in this very ring now. Now I've been initiated now. Yes, I'm in there now. Go ahead, Rich. I've officially been initiated.
So I think if you bring
knockoff Apollo Crews.
Hey, now here he comes, got to ruin the joke.
See, that's where you should have called him like Great Value Apollo Crews or like Dollar Tree Apollo Crews, right? But what also
Butters
works,
is Commanders, no Z's. There you go. That's how you tell a joke. That's how you get somebody.
But back to the point, right?
Yes.
For Lana, I think you keep her away from the Malachi Black story, almost, right? You bring her in, but you let her start doing her own thing to establish herself. Because if you bring her in while he's feuding with Malachi, all she's going to do is bring that down because she's not established in front of the AEW fans. What we all remember from Lana is a girl who was put through a table 10 times by Nia Jax.
But who out there doesn't know that's his wife, though? That's the thing. This is when kayfabe goes wrong.
But everybody knows. Everybody knows she's his wife.
Right.
Right? But personally, I don't care she's his wife.
Because you think she's your wife.
No, that's Mandy. Right? Get it right. Mandy, Liv, Alexa, I'll take a few. But
he said I want concubines. Now he wanted to be princess of African country. He want concubines.
What was that Tommy Dreamer promo? I'll take them both. I'm hardcore. Right?
Right. There you go.
But you need to position her to where she makes a name for herself in AEW. She's able to put her WWE past behind her, and then she can go and be out there with Miro. Like for big matches, like Brandy was for Cody, right? You see Brandy out there for the big matches, the all-out matches, the whatever, right? But she's just out there. We know she's out there as support.
Right.
Right? It's not she's out there to lend to the story in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? She's out there supporting her husband. I think she comes in and you pick a woman on the roster. You don't put her with Britt Baker, right? But you put her with somebody in there to help build her and then eventually put her over as an established star. Red Velvet, there you go. You know what I mean?
That's perfect. Yeah. That's perfect.
So that's how you bring Lana in. Now, she obviously shows up in a promo with Rusev, right?
Right.
There's no other way to do that.
Yeah.
But then you let her fuck off and do her own thing.
Yeah.
So you're cool. You want to see her as an in-ring talent.
Yeah.
I do.
That's the only way. That's the only way she'll be able to establish herself to his point.
And
so
a legitimate in-ring talent.
Right. So that way when she finally does get over enough to where the AEW fans like really know who she is, then if you want to insert her into a storyline with Miro that's major, now not only do you have Miro, but now you also have that other important piece to the equation, which is Lana, that will help get Miro even more over the top. Because it's like now you kind of got a Randy Savage, Miss Elizabeth thing going on. Except she's, not as weak as Miss Elizabeth was. No disrespect.
But
I don't
see, the
think Ill Will
difference
is
is
dead.
when Elizabeth was around,
Right.
and Damien, we'll touch on the Lana can't fight, but when Elizabeth was around, the women weren't in the ring, right?
Yep.
The women were out there solely as a valet. Elizabeth was positioned and designed to literally just go out there and be arm candy for Macho Man. And occasionally, as her career progressed, she would, run and get Hogan, or she would do the dirty tactics when she was with the NWO,
Right.
and then the stuff with the Nature Boy.
Be a distraction.
Yeah, she was a distraction. She could distract when needed, but that's all she was. She was something to look at, right? No disrespect to Elizabeth, but wrestling was a different time back then.
Yep.
Right? Even when Sonny was a manager, Sonny was just 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Sonny was something to look at.
Yeah.
Now, don't even get me started.
It more or less all that got started with Sable, and then it progressed into what we have
Exactly. Sable
Yep.
was the turning point. We always had Fabulous Moolah, Mae Young. You had the Alundra Blaze, right? Alundra Blaze was also somebody who changed the game. But it wasn't until they brought Sable in to work with Alundra for that very little bit, and they started bringing in more talent to actually give Alundra people to wrestle. And then Alundra fucks off and goes to WCW, where they've got the Japanese women. And now women's wrestling is on the rise.
Right.
Yep.
But back to you, George. I think George froze out on us.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I think George definitely froze out on us. So,
Yeah. That's a
are
good
you
point.
back?
But no. These are all great points that
What up, Nate?
Yo, Nate.
can you hear me?
You're choppy.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, you're coming
Nah.
back. You're a little
Can
bit
y'all hear me
coming
now?
back.
Yeah. Can y'all hear now?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Can't hear you now. I don't know if you're saying anything.
I don't think you're
hear me?
saying anything either. Nah, bro. I think we might have lost.
Can y'all hear me?
Nah, it looks like his connection's all jacked up. While George is figuring things out, let's give Nate that shout out that he rightfully deserves, and allow us to plug HD memberships. Guys,
Yes.
if you don't know, Nate Moss is the host of Money Pot Podcast every Sunday morning here on HD Radio. With Money Pot Podcast, what that means is that you guys, for $9.99 a month, have the ability to become an A2D No Notes member. That gives you appearances on shows, members only streams, shout out, and Nate Moss and his team over at the Money Pot Podcast will give you those weekly sports picks to help put a little cash in your pocket. So big shout out to Nate and his team over there. So we're gonna get George figured out, let him get his stream squared away and situated.
Yes, sir.
Situated.
So until he comes back, we'll put the AEW conversation on hold because I know that's something he really wants to be a part of. Right? If we get him back, we'll jump right back into it. But let's go to Raw. Let's go to Monday night on Raw. And something that stands out big to me, and Butters and I, you were talking about it a little bit earlier, was Elias is dead. The character Elias is dead. What does that mean for the Drifter?
Does that mean just the singer / guitarist Elias is dead and he's coming back as Elias, the wrestler? Or are we getting a whole new character coming back as, I'm Eli, or, go Book of Eli on, WWE or something. Yes, it leaves vague because it's just a promo for a new character, but does Vince pull a Vince and shave your head and, wear a singlet and go out there and get wrecked every week till I decide to release you 2 weeks later?
For me, I like it because it shows something new as far as just it wasn't going anywhere. They knew when to pull it. And to be honest with you, the final nail in the coffin of Elias, the character, 2 words. It was Rick Boogs. That was it.
Yeah.
You got to do
Yeah.
that was getting over, not even in the ring, more over than what Elias has ever been.
See, I disagree.
Well, no, okay, I wouldn't say ever. I mean, it's been a while since Elias was that over, and they just never gave him anything tangible to run with. You know what I mean? So it's really on the booking fault. But I like this because it's just it's a change of pace, and maybe Vince is like, I do got to change this shit up. You know what I mean? I can't keep having the same 4 guys wrestle some type of variation of matches every week for 4 or 5 weeks in a row, leading up to a pay-per-view, have a pay-per-view, then it's on to the next one. You know what I mean? It's just something a little bit different to where Elias really got lost in the shuffle. I mean, hell, he lost to Jackson Riker, aka Gunner. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing with that guy? He's probably one rung up from being an enhancement talent. You know what I mean? So you got Elias who has some big wins, some big programs, and some big. I think he has a couple. Does he have WrestleMania matches under his belt?
I think
If
so.
I'm not mistaken. So
he might have one, I think.
I'm not even saying a win, but I think just a match at WrestleMania.
That's what I said. I think he's had one.
Okay.
Here's the thing with Elias, and you bring up the Jackson Riker thing, right? I think that was the plan, was for him to lose that match, though.
Okay.
Because I think, to your point, we saw the writing on the wall with the Elias character post-pandemic, right? And I shouldn't say we're out of the woods yet, but crowds are back. We're back to doing live shows. And it's just not picking up the steam that he had beforehand, because I've been in the arenas with Elias, and he was on fire. The walk with Elias,
right?
The everything like that. That was it's a crowd pleaser, right? The dude would just come out, sit in the ring for 10 minutes, and I don't need you to wrestle, right?
Right.
I got my good from you. But I think they were realizing, you know what, this just isn't playing off. We've got Rick Boogs over here doing something very similar, and it's working with the Nakamura thing, right? Yes. Let's give that to them. Let's find something new for you. We're gonna have you lose series of matches to people that you shouldn't lose to, so that you can say, you know what, Elias, you do this great promo.
Yeah.
Monday night. You do this great vignette, and we throw the guitar in the fire, and we walk away, to be.
That had Jeremy Borash written all over it.
Yeah, 100% it did.
100%.
Right, but now he's this phoenix rising from the ashes, and what does that bring?
So,
Kate Moss says,
very good.
He had a nice run in the ring, but he stiffed him. He can't hang with the big boys. He can't stand him too over the top. I don't disagree with you, right? I don't disagree with that statement at all. But I also can't fully 100% agree with it, because where I think sometimes, yes, he was very over the top and whatever, some of the stuff that would come out of his mouth, his mic work and ever, was great. WrestleMania 34 with Cena and Undertaker doesn't happen the way it happens without Elias.
He was that bridge.
Right?
Correct.
Elias, the character of Elias was always the bridge to take us to the next segment, the next thing happening, the next whatever. And you've always got somebody on the roster that can do that. That can be a bridge, right? The people like to see you, whether it's they like to see you get your ass kicked, or you've got a shtick that they like to be a part of. And then we go to the next thing. You're a transitional guy, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Do you see him with this realignment? I know you guys had a great show last week talking about all the releases. Do we see him go back to NXT? Because, the quote unquote, the reason is they want to get bigger guys. I mean, hell, you take the talent that you're not using on the main roster, repackage them and rebrand them and throw them in NXT to try to build the brand up and get these guys to kind of and reinvent themselves.
I reserve my right to answer that question until after NXT Takeover next week.
Okay.
Because, I'm sorry, Nate's saying he can't stand Rick. He thinks Rick is too over the top.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
but you see Nakamura's dancing, Nate? What the fuck is that?
They match up. They're
yeah.
Right. They're the right kind of fucked up for each other.
Yes.
But I think that once we see where the title pictures are, who's in what roles. Did you hit your head?
Yes, he
did.
Yep.
Oh,
title belt right above my head.
You're stupid.
The heavy one, of course.
Of course. We're going to see a different landscape of NXT a week from tomorrow night.
Yeah.
For NXT TakeOver 36. Right? So I definitely think there's something there.
Okay.
Do I see him going back? Maybe. I just don't want them to flood the NXT roster with main roster people, right? Mandy's already down there. I don't. Where's Elias going to fit is my question. So I think we might have George back. We look like we have a little setting change here. So let's bring 2 Live Group back up in here. What the hell happened?
Man, my damn phone died on me, guys. Sorry, I had to dip out. I had to dip out of the public tourist site, and I had to come on back to the car. So I'm in the car now.
Oh, what a rookie move! You hate to see it.
Hey, but I'm a trooper though.
Yeah,
I've been in the car before.
I gotta give him credit because when Brian's phone used to die on Agree to Disagree, he would just be done. He just wouldn't come back. Screw it.
I'm clocking out.
Yeah, no, I'm in it to win it, man.
So we're talking about Elias.
Okay.
We wanted to put the AEW conversation on hold until you got back, so we'll wrap up Elias. We'll go back to AEW for you.
Okay.
With Elias saying that his character is dead, where do you see him going? Does he go back to NXT? Does he repackage himself as something different? What's next for the Drifter?
You know what? I can actually see Elias going back to NXT and kind of having the whole Finn Balor treatment. Like, he was a guy that, tried to find success as best he could on the main roster, but Vince, again, just didn't know what to do with him, and creative didn't have nothing for him. So they finally came to the conclusion, like, hey, if you want to step out of the main roster, go rebuild yourself, go build yourself back up. You're more than happy to go to NXT. And I say he still keeps the Drifter gimmick, but it's funny you mentioned the word repackaged, Ritz. He keeps the Drifter gimmick, but only this time it's a darker, more evil Drifter. So let's say, like he used to do in NXT, he just shows up out of nowhere. Let's just say, I don't know, Kyle O'Reilly is facing Roderick Strong. And let's just say the camera cuts towards the crowd, and you just see this guy with like straight black hair, but it's cut short. And you see him like with this walk with the Drifter, not walk with Elias, walk with the Drifter, black shirt on, blue jeans, black boots, and he's just standing there with his arms crossed, just staring a hole into the ring. And Wade Barrett and whatever that Vic Joseph, it was like, wait a minute, is that Elias? And right. Wade Barrett is like, I don't see him in my peripheral view. Oh my goodness, yes, that is the Drifter. Elias is back in NXT. I can't believe this. He looks a lot darker. What's his agenda? What is he doing here? So
that might be the
something like that.
English accent. anybody's ever tried on this show.
I tried. That's the key word. And see, that's the key word. Keyword I tried. But here's the thing. With this drifter, with this version of the drifter, his whole mission is to not get people to walk with him. His mission this time around is he lost his way, and being that he lost his way, he's trying to carve a new path in trying to find his way to the top. So basically, he's drifting, quote unquote, back into the realm of NXT because Raw or SmackDown, kind of did not carve out that path for him that he thought it did. So he basically was lost in his mind, lost in his career. And now he's come back to the place where he originally started his journey. And now it's come full circle to where he's trying to, quote unquote, complete that journey and get his vindication by winning a championship in NXT.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind seeing, like, depending on who goes over with the NXT title next week, maybe a Samoa Joe Elias type of program. But I mean, when you do a move like this, you need to go away for like 3-4 months. Like, this isn't something where I need you to pop back up right away. Ritz, if you want to pop up Damien's question real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick before I do Damien's question, Nate's saying, hey, SummerSlam live reactions, let's do it. We are doing SummerSlam live reactions next week here on In This Very Ring.
Can I have a suggestion?
What?
Can I make a suggestion, Ritz?
Maybe.
Okay. I know I'm a rookie and everything, but I just think that a live reactions would not be a live reactions without, let's say, a little refreshment. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some cookies here. Maybe a little, Pringles chips here. A little live snackaroo on the broadcast.
Snackaroo.
Fam, you clearly have not hung out with me for a pay-per-view.
Oh, the heat goes down.
I've already figured out, I rearranged the room so that we could do this live reaction, and that table back there will be full of snacks. You didn't see what I had for WrestleMania when we were set up when I was set up here. It started over here, and I had a cooler of 1.5 gallons of tea.
Oh dear God, this man was ready.
I had wings, I had cookies, I had pretzels.
You are my guy.
Duh, I'm fat.
You are my guy. No, you're my guy. I'm just saying.
I think it was Royal Rumble. I showed up. I showed up with the brownie bites. I showed up with the M&M cookies. I showed up with the chocolate chip cookies. I was bringing the desserts, baby. He brought the food. I brought the desserts.
Oh yeah.
That's why you two are brothers. I just want to let you know that.
I'm just saying.
But yes, we will be doing live reactions next week. We're figuring out how it's all going to work. We've at least got to figure it out on our end. We'll figure out how it's going to work if anybody wants to join us. But here's Damien's question. Damien says, I have a feeling, quick question. Since y'all mentioned Vince in love with big guys, if Vince wants big guys, why the hell would he bring Samoa Joe back? He's not even that tall.
So, Damien, Samoa Joe and his personality and anything works in any fucking decade of any era of wrestling. You go back and you watch that Paul Heyman promo when he made me believe he had a shot to beat Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's why you bring him back. Vince's problem, dare I say this, Samoa Joe needs to be on the main roster. He doesn't even need to be in NXT right now.
I think he's on the NXT roster to keep it low and slow from his concussions he's been having.
Okay.
Because I think with NXT you're able to take it a little slower. You're not on the road. You're more of in one place. You're not doing too much. This way they can see where Joe is going.
True. Good point.
And at least here, if something happens, they know better. if as say versus he's on Raw, he's on SmackDown, he's out on the road 300 something days of the year. He's more prone to get another concussion. He's more prone to get injured again.
I mean, that sucks because anytime I can see Joe and his true nature, I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I'm a fan every time.
Right.
I just love this Joe that we've had on NXT recently.
Passionate.
Like it's been great. The whole when Adam and Kyle were fighting in the back, and he pushed
my God,
this one security guard out of the way and just locked up Adam Cole, and Kyle was grabbing the other security guard going, no, you stand here, get in front of me. Hey, when he wakes up, tell him to see Mr. Regal. Greg Malachowicz chiming in saying, what's up? He tuned in at the right time. Fat guy talk.
Fat guy talk, right time. What are you talking about? It's always fat time. It's always fat guy talk on in this very ring. I almost called it NXT.
But no, this Joe is great. This is a great Joe. All right, George, you ready to bring us back to AEW?
Quick Triple Mania update.
Or I think we lost George again, but go ahead.
Quick Triple Mania update. We had a surprise.
Right.
Triple Mania.
Right.
Ric Flair has come out with Andrade at Triple Mania.
But no, is anybody really surprised though?
It's about to be his son-in-law.
I know, but still, come on. It's kind of a surprise, probably at least for AAA, at least for Mexico. Ric Flair. That's probably one of the things why he wanted out of his contract. He probably asked Vince to at least just go out with his son-in-law, and Vince said no. So he's like, I want out of my contract.
I don't think he gives a shit about his soon-to-be son-in-law. I mean, listen, I wish him nothing but the best, but I mean, I don't know. I don't see that marriage. Like, what wrestling marriage lasts like that when they're both performers and they're both alphas? He's an alpha, she's the alpha.
Triple H and Stephanie? I don't know.
I mean, she's not really an alpha, but you know what I mean.
I want you to tell her that.
I mean, it depends. I
want you to look at her and say, "Ma'am, you're not an alpha."
No, I'm talking about in the setting of Steph never needed to be behind closed doors, yeah. But Steph never was in front of the camera and had to be all about me all the time. You see what I'm saying? As a performer. You know what I mean? I don't think that was her true nature. Now, behind the doors as a businesswoman, I'll give her $10 million. It's gonna make me 50. She'll do that shit in 5 years. Hands down. What I'm talking about, like, just the personality of Charlotte and Andrade together. I don't see, and then you throw Rick in there. Could you imagine fucking having an argument and they gotta have Rick mediate the shit?
First of all, Rick is not the person that you want as a marriage counselor.
Exactly.
Rick would mediate it with shots.
Somebody called me Ric Flair the other day, right? And I was like, no. Don't compare me to that man, because that man, well, yes, it is Space Now, oldest ride, longest line. The man's been divorced 3 times. and he's broke. He's a broke motherfucker.
Oh, he gonna get his bag back up. Right. As long as he got the name Ric Flair and he can woo, he gonna get his bag back up.
Man almost died
several times.
Can't kill the woo, man.
Can't kill the woo.
I honestly think death comes knocking at his door, opens the door, sees it's Ric Flair, goes, nope, not this time. Fuck this. It's Flair. We're done.
He ain't got enough liquor downstairs.
He got like 4. And he got like 4 or 5 baby mamas in Charlotte.
Yeah. Queen City for real.
Death opens it up and went, we can't afford your child support.
Not to mention all the unknowns.
Oh, God. God help us all. So George is still having connection problems, so we're going to drop him back there until we get that squared away. Honest to God, from Raw, did anybody else think that the spot with the Baby Doll and Dewdrop and Alexa
Oh my
was
God.
just fucking weird.
That was creepy and weird. I mean, the winking eye just kind of like.
It's getting too cheesy, man. Like at some point, you just have to fucking wrestle. I
Yeah.
don't care what your gimmick is, what you got to get your character. The Fiend wrestled. You feel what I'm saying? Like he did all this, but he at the end of the day, he was still able to wrestle, and it didn't take away. I mean, I love Alexa. Just stop. Let her go back to the Joker shit that she was before. She's doing. You all know if you didn't know before, now you know she has a gymnast background. That's where her background came from. Tumbling flips, all that shit comes easy to her. It's just too choreographed. It's one of the things I don't like about AEW in certain cases. It's just too choreographed. The spots are too predictable, and you see people trying to get themselves in a certain spot to make it happen. And with WWE, they do a very good job of not doing that. When you throw too much into a match like they're trying to do with Alexa, there's too many moving parts. There's too many moving parts, bro. And I just don't get it. I don't get it. Because she did the crawling thing twice, if I'm not mistaken, right, Butters? During that match.
I don't remember that match very, I kind of catch I catch most of the clips on YouTube, and long work week, I don't remember half the crap.
Well, tell Coca-Cola to give you a break, man.
Don't get him started.
You tell them that.
Hey, people got to drink their soda, man.
That's a lot of soda. Woo! But I mean, other than, I feel like they just need to depart Ava and Dewdrop and give Dewdrop her name back. Quit with the Dewdrop. Yeah, I like Piper Niven better than I like Dewdrop. I don't like. I guess I get it. I see the whole writing on the wall that it's eventually going to be Piper versus Ava because they get pissed off at each other. It's the same bullshit, different day.
Right,
at
but
the end
like
of the day,
this is the one thing where I'm like, Vince, what's your
end game?
Right, like, and these women, they sell themselves. Fucking look at them.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? Just look at them. Like, you don't need to do shit.
They some days they sell it better than the men.
Yeah, you see, they don't need to do anything. And man, listen, don't get me wrong. NXT is somewhat stacked with women right now. I don't know what the hell they're doing with Frankie Monet, Tara Valkyrie, but if you would have put Piper in NXT, I mean, it just adds to it. Like, big girl can wrestle. Big girl can go.
She came over from NXT UK.
Right.
She was damn good over there. She's still damn good on Raw. It's just they're slowly doing it with her. They're not really giving it what she needs, what she should have.
Right. And you take up this segment. You take up these blocks of time in this segment it doesn't need to be this long. I mean, 5 minutes, and then, like I said, it's just too choreographed. If they want to have the doll, whatever else, in some spot, and just have the doll come down, cool. But then when you keep referring to the doll, you got to stand the doll up. The doll has to wink. This, that, and the third. Like, I don't know what I'm watching. Am I watching a wrestling match or what am I watching?
Am I watching a
fucked up episode of?
I was going to say, am I watching a wrestling match or a cheesy Netflix horror movie?
It's like watching Robot Chicken.
Yeah. Yeah. Boom, done. Exactly. Nail on the head. Boom, done.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, outside of that.
I mean, Arcade Bro, are they just teasing? Is the breakup being teased to where they're just going to get a title shot for the tag titles at SummerSlam and win them?
It's going to be like, it's the Team Hell No thing all over again, where they're just going to be forced to be together because they're just going to be the enemy to my enemy is my friend. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like,
this week
what's going to happen.
So this week we're going to get the announcement of Arcade Bro versus Styles and Omos for the tag titles at SummerSlam.
100%.
Yeah, and I don't need Bobby to talk.
MVP, that's your job. MVP, that is his job.
Don't need you to talk because you know why? He tries, and then you can see the wheels turning in his head, and he doesn't know what to say, and it just doesn't come out right.
Yeah,
it just doesn't come out right. It's not believable. You feel what I'm saying? You look like every time you talk and you tell me to do something, I'm gonna be scared. I feel like you the substitute gym teacher. Like, don't say shit. Just stand there and be big, bitch.
Bobby wrestle, MVP talk. Bobby wrestle, MVP talk.
That's it. That's it.
Like I was reading an interview he did the other day. They asked him about hush you. They asked him about did he think it was too soon for the Hurt Business to break up? He went all around that question.
Never answered it.
Oh well, these guys we were good. Da, 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 da.
But I think that's a political.
Because he finally has his spot. What is he going to say?
I don't think there's a safe way for him to answer that question.
Nah, not at all.
I get where you're going, right?
Yeah,
but he does dance around things. You know what I mean? But I don't think that there's a safe way for him to answer that.
Right.
We're getting to a point where I'm going to have to skip most of the rest of the week because I want to get into SummerSlam preview and predictions. Okay.
I mean, the only thing good coming out of SmackDown was what, the Roman's John Cena promo?
That was fantastic, though. Like,
and then Montez almost flipped over Otis, like literally.
Yes,
he almost airmailed him completely.
Good match, but yeah, I agree with you. That was.
Before you boys get into that, man, this is where I have to bid you guys adieu. I have to go get the missus. So, luckily enough, I mean, she is more important than you guys. I love you guys, but I sleep next to her.
Oh yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, I agree with Andy.
But yo, fam, thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for in this very ring. The boys having me, the Ritz and the Crackers, and 2 Live Brew.
Wait.
Do craft beer?
Wait, hold on. Why is he a cracker?
Well, Ritz and Crackers just goes together. I mean, I don't do this shit.
I have Butters. It's Ritz and Butters, you know.
Ritz and Crackers. Listen, you got Ritz Crackers over here. You got Butter Club Crackers, which Butter Club Crackers are better.
They are good.
They're better. That's upper echelon.
But I'll tell you what. When you're not feeling good, there's nothing better than just a whole solid roll of Ritz Crackers.
I did that shit the other night, bitch. My stomach was turning. Boy. I was like, yo, go get me a ginger ale and and a roll of Ritz and go to sleep and just hope it go away, bitch, when you wake up.
But go hit the missus. Send her
all right, boys, man. I love y'all. I'm out of here.
All right, man. Later.
Peace.
Bye. All right, let's try to bring George back in. George, are you with us?
Are you back from the space station, George?
This is Houston calling Shuttlecraft Brew. Do you copy Shuttlecraft Brew? Well,
yes.
Wait. I think we might have him. I think we might have Shuttlecraft Brew. Shuttlecraft Brew, do you copy?
Oh, this shit's too good. You can't make this shit up, boys and girls. You cannot make this up.
Yes, this is Shuttlecraft Brew.
And the best part is
this is Shuttlecraft Brew.
What's great about this? He sounds like he's coming through as a transmission.
Yes.
I can't write this. Oh my god.
I told you. That's what I just said. You can't.
This is Shuttlecraft Brew coming from. This is Shuttlecraft Brew coming in from the 500 2007.
All right, so let's dive into it because we do have, probably about 20, 25 minutes left in the broadcast. And I want to jump into SummerSlam because we normally, when SummerSlam or a pay-per-view is on a Sunday, our Saturday night show the week before the night before is a preview show. But we're going to do it a week before. We expect things to change, right? Mm-hmm. But we're going to preview the show because when we're on the air next week, like I said, we will be doing live reactions. We'll be with you for the entire part of SummerSlam, breaking it all down as it happens live on the air. Okay, so let's start. I can't believe I'm saying this, that this is a match on SummerSlam. Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal.
I mean, the writing was on the wall.
I see what you did there.
But still, stupid is as stupid does.
No problem.
But still, you saw it coming a mile away. The whole program's been at it.
It's a sword fight.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if kendo sticks were involved, just for shits and giggles. Somebody brings out the kendo stick, he brings out the sword. The sword is mightier than the kendo stick, boys. But I see this one as I think, honestly, I think Jinder gets this one to start it off. I think Jinder gets this one.
I'd be so mad if Jinder won.
Well, I see this as an ongoing feud, so I think Jinder
I
gets
say
this
Drew
one.
McIntyre by
You're good. Go ahead.
what? Oh Lord.
Okay.
What is the purpose? I'm just like, what is the purpose? What would be the purpose of Jinder winning?
Love you too,
What would that
Mom.
lead
Love
to?
you too. What would Jinder winning? It'd lead to a continuation of the feud.
Why though?
It's WWE. They just like to continue shit after you know.
Why?
My brain just had a brain fart.
Frustrating.
Book it for me. Why? And I'm gonna be nice because your mom's watching.
So here we go. Here we go. You have the interference from Veer and Shanky. I don't know whoever came up with those damn names.
Veer and Shanky. I just said it out loud. That's the first time I heard it out loud.
But you had the interference from Veer and Shanky. Jinder Mahal gets the win from the interference. You set it up for the next pay-per-view. Drew gets the win. Veer and Shanky's either ejected, you know, Drew. You're just going to set up for a small, you know, third final match. Drew gets over.
But why do I want it? Why do you want this so bad? Why do you want this to continue? This shouldn't be on the card.
It keeps Drew out of the title picture for a limited time. So they can try to add somebody else. Try to see what else can.
It's honestly a match I don't care for. No disrespect to either competitor, right? I just don't care.
I think this is a match that potentially ends in what Jinder wants is a Punjabi.
But if you're talking about,
I swear to God.
But if you're talking,
what, you don't want to see another Punjabi prison match?
I have zero desire. We lost George again. I have zero desire to see another Punjabi prison match.
I think a lot of people do.
What, a desire to see it?
No. I don't have a desire to see it.
Well, why would it come out of your mouth? Look, man, I said I'd be nice because your mom's watching, but there's only so much nice I can handle.
Hey,
say dumb shit. You know what? No, hold on. Is Mom still here? Mom, are you still here? I need something answered. Did dumb stuff like this always come out of his mouth?
Oh, like, I can answer that for you. I can answer that.
No. Shut up. Did this always happen, or like did a recent injury just make him lose IQ points? Can you help me here, Mom? Because it's really tough sometimes sitting on the other side of this broadcast and have to try to spin the stuff that comes out of your son's mouth. I love your son to death, right? But my God.
I got to bring up the what ifs, okay? I got to bring up the what ifs.
Was that a cheap plug for Marvel's what ifs?
No, because I haven't watched it yet, but I'm just saying. All I'm saying is I like to try to bring up the what ifs, the potentials. That it gets a rise out of you sometimes, so it's even better.
I think your mom just gave me permission to be mean to you.
I think she did too. Thanks, Mom. Love you too.
Yes! I got the blessing from Mom. Let's go.
Either way, I mean, it'll be a decent match. I wouldn't say it's a great match. It'd be a great match, but it'll be a decent match. You still get that interference from Veer and Shanky.
I'm telling you, if this match sucks, I will hit you with a title belt on Saturday.
I'll bring the ECW if I have to.
I know. I'll walk downstairs, get mine. I will walk downstairs on the air, walk back up with that title, and slap you with. All right, let's go into another singles match. Before we start talking about the championship matches, I like to get through the non-title matches.
Yep.
So Edge versus Seth Rollins. This is going to tear the house down.
Yes.
But I think this is where Edge walks away with a win.
I feel like this is Seth Rollins' time. This sets up for Seth to try to face the winner of the WWE title match, of the Universal title match. I feel like this sets Seth up as the win to set up for whoever wins the Universal title, whoever has it after SummerSlam. This is Seth Rollins' time.
He should.
I just won a big match. Now give me a title match. I asked for it. You didn't give it to me. I just beat Edge. I just beat a big name. Give me my match I won.
I can see that. I guess for me, I struggle with somebody like Edge coming in and losing again.
I think Edge, he more cares of putting over the current talent. He wants to just put over today's talent. Today, he's there not to win titles. He's there. Yes, a win here and there is great. But he more so, I think, is just there to help WWE, help put people over more, help try to get a character over even more.
Possibly. Damien wants to know, do y'all think that WWE knew something about CM Punk's possible debut next week at Rampage and just added the Cena comments to boost AEW ratings since Vince says he wants to help AEW? I don't think either one play hand in hand. I don't think they care one way or the other.
I think Vince doesn't care and he just wants to get a rise out of people.
I think he wants to see them succeed. Of course he does. I think Vince wants to see AEW take off and flourish and do the best that they can so we get back to this generation's attitude era. Right? I think that's what he wants.
I think if AEW flourishes, and this is just me, I think if AEW flourishes, I think both companies profit from it. Big time.
They do.
Because you have this competition. You want competition. You don't have competition, you become stale.
Exactly.
You need that need that competition to keep it going.
Could not have put it better. George, what do you think? Edge or Seth Rollins?
I think we lost George again.
George's connection's pretty rough. Yeah, I think that's it from George tonight, guys. Maybe George, you with us? Yeah, no, I got nothing from George. Okay. All right, so I think I see your point, right?
Yeah.
You've kind of convinced me on the Seth Rollins bit.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I can definitely see Seth winning and it making sense. There is still a part of me that wants to see Edge win it. Right? I kind of feel like his return and everything, he hasn't gotten his moment, right? He did with the Randy in the greatest wrestling match ever in that long-ass match. Right? But
and an Edge win could mean that victory over Seth almost trying to, curb stomp him out of existence in general years ago. You want to see Edge get that revenge for Seth almost ends. My career was over, but Seth didn't want to end my career. He wanted to end my life. So I want revenge. I'm going to beat the piss out of him. Here's my revenge. That I could see if Edge wins. That's that big victory for Edge in a sense that I got what I wanted that I couldn't do years ago.
Exactly. So let's go to. All right, now we've got some title matches to talk about. Let's talk about Sheamus versus Damian Priest for the United States title.
I think this is Damian's time to shine. I think Damian gets this title. I think this is the thank you for helping with Bad Bunny at WrestleMania. I think this is Damian Priest has done a lot with both Miz and Morrison. He's been doing pretty good lately. I think this match with Sheamus, it sees Priest pick up that win, pick up that title, and we see where Priest goes with it.
Wow, Omega won.
Really?
Omega won.
Wow. Interesting.
Very interesting.
I guess they didn't want Omega to lose 2 nights in a row.
Maybe. Was Conan the referee?
No, Conan was in Omega's corner.
Okay.
It was Flair in Andrade's corner and Conan in Omega's corner.
Your mom.
Oh Lord.
I don't know if you want me to put that comment up.
Oh hell no. God, oh my God. Mother! What the hell is wrong with you? Oh, I love my mother to death. I know she's not a big wrestling fan.
Oh my God, your mom's my hero.
She does this shit. This is my mother for you.
Your mom's my
Love you too,
favorite
Mom.
person.
Thanks.
Oh.
Oh my God.
That's such a win. I'm getting that. I think this is Damian Priest's time to shine, though.
It really is.
Damian's
Hey, yeah, I
question
saw.
marks. Damian, you got to be on our Facebook. She's in our Facebook chat, bro. But I think Damian Priest, this is his thank you. I think but also he's definitely earned it.
Yes, he has come a long way from the from you calling him a vanilla.
I just called him a bottle of vanilla extract.
Yeah, there we go. That's what it was.
Not even like the good kind of vanilla extract. It's like the cheap kind that you buy because you're poor and you can't afford the McCormick.
He's upgraded to the McCormick status.
Yeah.
Now when he wins the belt, he'll upgrade even further to the good stuff.
McCormick is the good stuff.
Oh, I thought there was even one more expensive.
No, I think the McCormick is the good one. No,
okay.
Then you start getting into like the weird frou-frou vanilla extract shit. The Usos versus the Mysterios for the SmackDown tag titles. I think you keep it on the Usos here.
I do too. I think the Usos keep it, and I think this is the possibility for Dominic to turn on his dad.
Agreed. I think this is how it happens.
They lose, the frustration sets in, and I think Dominic's ready to separate from his dad. Whether he's actually ready or not is a different story, but I think this is where they go their separate ways.
I think he's 100% ready for it. I think if anything, what could potentially hurt him might be mic work.
Mm-hmm.
Damien jumped in on Facebook and saw the comment. He switched. Damien's my hero too.
Yeah, I know, Damien. I'm dying inside. Really, really fucking deep dying inside.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is so good. But I think that this is where Dominic can branch off and make a name for himself, right? It was very cool that he got to spend this time with his dad. And,
yes.
You know, as a son who you have that legacy and everything like that, that's got to be something that you've always wanted.
That and you got to be a tag team champion with your dad.
Yeah, you got to share the big stage with your dad.
I think that was the first father-son tag team champions.
I think so.
So you get to share that first, but you also get to share the fact that you can say, hey, me and my dad were tag team champions. What do you got, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Damien says your mom rocks.
Yeah, I know.
Your mom's a legend. And I think the Usos just you don't take it off these guys right now.
No,
these are guys that you can
they're
use
too
to
hot.
elevate it. And I think this is going to play in more with the bloodline in some way. I think them having the titles is going to really start to shape things up.
I see this playing into, if Roman loses, those tag titles play into the role.
100%. Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks.
Oh, I'm torn between this one. Either way is a win-win for me.
I agree, but I think it's Sasha's time
to get it back. Yeah, Bianca's had it for a good while.
I was talking about this with Jackson Silent Hill. We've got a wrestling group chat that we're in, and last night after Bianca was put in the bank statement again by Sasha Banks.
This time with the hair.
Yeah, this time with the hair. The conversation was Sasha needs the title back, and I agree. But I also like what they're doing. This is Sasha's best hunt for the title, the best build, the best everything. So her winning this will really be like, this is the right time to do it while this momentum is hot. You haven't really screwed it up. You're adding also in the Carmella, Zelina Vega aspects of things. I think there's going to be they're going to play a role in some way. And I think Bianca's going to have to roll through all three of those women to get her title back.
Yes.
Right. So that'll be Bianca's redemption story. She's going to start with Zelina. She's going to roll through Zelina. It's going to go to Carmella. She's going to roll through Carmella. And probably by the time Survivor Series rolls around, we're going to see this match again in some capacity. If not Royal Rumble.
Yep.
And Bianca's going to take that title back.
Or TLC. It doesn't have to be
or she wins the Rumble, right?
Again.
Wins the Rumble again and gets the title back. But I do think Sasha takes this one home. I'm torn, but in the best way possible because no matter what happens, there's a way to go and it works.
Yep.
Nikki, almost a superhero. Hate that. Versus Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's title.
I think they're putting. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I think they're putting the title back on Charlotte. It's just a way to get those numbers back up.
I could see them putting it back on Charlotte, but I could also see them using this to legitimize Nikki, and Nikki beats them both clean.
It'd be nice. I'm liking the superhero gimmick, but at the same time, I'm also liking the fact that
of course you do. We're both nerds.
True, but I'm also liking the fact that Nikki's got the title right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a way to, like you said, legitimately, Nikki can pin Rhea and Charlotte doesn't look bad, and they can have their singles match between Charlotte and Nikki at the next pay-per-view, or you have Charlotte, pin Rhea. I mean, it's sad to say, yes, I'm going with Rhea getting pinned here, but...
Well, I think you save Charlotte for as we get closer to Survivor Series, because you have to see who's going to be on, because they run the Survivor Series, the Raw versus SmackDown angles again this year. We have to see who's going to be on the SmackDown side as champion. And you're obviously going to want to put Charlotte in that match.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I don't think necessarily this is where Nikki drops the belt. I could see Nikki dropping the belt over the next couple of months. But definitely before Survivor Series.
Yep.
Definitely. Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg. Tell me why Bobby Lashley's going to win.
I mean, other than contractual appearances, and this is Goldberg's third and final one for the year.
Or other than the fact that if Goldberg actually does win, I will break my TV.
We don't need that. But I think this is just Goldberg putting over Bobby Lashley. It's another spear versus spear match. I think Bobby just, it's Goldberg. He's willing to put over that talent like Bobby. Bobby's a good talent. Bobby's, great in-ring performer. And I really don't see this match going no more than 5-10 minutes tops.
Agreed. I will say this, though, that if Goldberg tries a jackhammer, I'm done.
Yeah, because Bobby's a pretty big boy.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the one where I think this might end up being match of the night. 100%. Like, this is going to close out the show by far. I think this is going to be match of the night. I think this has the best build aside from Sasha and Bianca. Roman Reigns, John Cena for the Universal title.
The fanboy in me wants to go with Cena for that 17th title run, for the simple fact that yes, it's Cena. Yes, he is still in Hollywood, but you also have the fact that if Cena does win the 17th title, you can have the Money in the Bank winner come in and cash in on Cena right then and there after Roman gets pissed off and beats the hell out of Cena.
That would be huge.
Or you just the matches, like you said, it's going to be a big match. Who's to say that match just doesn't wear him out in general? And and the money that Big E comes out there, cashes in, or whatever they're going with the Money in the Bank storyline with Baron Corbin is. With Baron Corbin still in the Money in the Bank. Either way, this could be a possible. If Cena wins it, there's got to be a cash in. Because there's no way they're going to let Cena keep the title and still be in Hollywood.
No, not at all.
But it's a potential way to give him number 17 and then take it off of him real quick. But honestly, what we all see coming is Roman retaining.
And this is one of those ones where I like the idea of Cena winning, doing the job for Big E, because I think Big E does deserve it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And letting Roman, now he has to fight a battle on two fronts. He has to fight to get back his Universal title, but now he also has to fight the Usos internally to remain as head of the table. It adds a new depth to this bloodline dynamic storyline that honestly is getting a little stale.
I mean, they could say, we're still champions, so that should make us the head of the table.
And that's essentially what's going to happen, right? But I think the bloodline idea has kind of gotten stale.
This potentially sets, you could set up for Rock Roman at Survivor Series with this match at the very end. Just to set something up.
But see, Damian, it's not doing Rick dirty. Because
It's not.
Rick has come out in a few different interviews and said that he's okay if somebody beats his record. He wants to see it happen. He wants to be alive when it happens.
Not to mention, I'm pretty sure nobody's beating Ric Flair's record anytime soon. Real record,
21.
we're talking.
Yeah. 21 record.
Nobody's beating his real record. But for WWE-wise, records always get broken in WWE, no matter what.
Exactly.
Things get broken all the time.
It won't be time soon, but I think they'd have to start pretty soon. But I think before I die, somebody will beat Undertaker's record.
I think so too.
That'll be the day I die and the day I stop watching. I'm getting mad just thinking about it.
I mean, I don't, like you said, they would have to start it like now to get it going.
Yeah.
To see it in our lifetime. But the 17 time, I think we see it in our lifetime.
I think we see it next week.
Wholeheartedly.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that Cena does win. He gets that crowning moment.
And this is saying something compared to how opposed you've been in the past to Cena winning this number 17.
Yeah. But because... And obviously, we're going to see what happens with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh, yeah.
On SmackDown this week for the go-home show, everything like that. These are important shows coming up, and a lot can change, right? By the time we come on the air next week, I may have a very different view on this match. But I think right now, in the moment, I'll take the road less traveled and say Cena's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Big E's going to cash in. Big E's going to win against Cena, and it's going to let Roman have a new challenger, fight that battle, and fight for the head of the table seat, right?
Correct.
To maintain it, right? Because he's ultimately going to say, champion or not, I still beat you, right? But now they have a legitimate reason to go, well, wait a minute. Just because you beat me, you couldn't hold your gold against the part-timer, right? And there's a lot you can play into that. He goes, yeah, true. But if y'all think about it, Rick and WWE didn't end in good terms. Remember, he wanted out of WWE. But this time around, they did end on good terms. He asked, they let him out of his contract. It wasn't messy. He hasn't come out and said anything wrong about them in the last few weeks, right? So as far as we're all concerned this time around, I think they ended on good terms.
Yes,
right? If it was bad terms, they wouldn't have worded his release the way they did.
Vince wanted and Rick wanted different business decisions, and not to say AEW, but I'm pretty sure there's plenty of things out there that Rick wanted to do, get endorsed by, that Vince and WWE were like, no. And Rick just wants the money.
I made fun of it earlier, but Rick's broke.
Yeah.
Right? So he needs to go out and do these things to, one, keep his brand alive, but two, line his pockets with money.
I mean, if he's being offered money to do different things, why wouldn't you, Vince is all about, he said it in the past, or people said it in the past, Vince is all about, if you can go make money elsewhere, go right ahead.
Who said it? Mark Henry said it.
Yeah, if you can make more money elsewhere, go right ahead. I'm not going to be mad. And that's what Rick wants to do right now. He wants to make more money. He's
Nash
he's
said
got
it. Scott Hall has said it.
I'm pretty sure he's got tons of offers on the table to make a boatload of money.
Absolutely.
And I don't blame him for, not wanting to make that money. He's got a lifestyle to keep, boys.
Damn right. But, all right, so we're going to go. Well, before we go, do you have any last-minute things you want to bring up, talk about? We obviously broke the news that Kenny Omega retained his AAA title tonight against Andrade, which, again, for me is weird.
It really is, but it's always a good, it's always interesting. Let's see. I'm trying to think, because I always do screenshots, I always do different stuff throughout the week to double check, but I haven't seen anything other than, Christian's going to be on Impact this Thursday for the next set of Impact tapings, so we ought to see something interesting go there. Brian Myers is your new number one contender for the Impact World title. I was kind of figuring maybe they would have let Brian Myers beat Omega, but I guess Christian's just as good. Dynamite's going to be in Houston this Wednesday with a stacked card.
Yep.
Jericho versus MJF. Jericho can't come out to Judas. He can't use the Judas effect. So we'll see how the crowd plays into that.
I think they're going to sing his way down to the ring.
Yeah, but does MJF say, "Oh, whoa, I told you can't have Judas being played"?
But it's not playing. They're singing it.
I know, but it's MJF. He's going to play that heel role.
Oh, I'm sure he could. Big shout out to Kofi Kingston on his 40th birthday.
Yes. Oh man, damn 40.
Yeah,
I thought he's a little younger than that, but yeah, big shout out to Kofi. But I think that's about all I've got so far. I mean,
there wasn't. I won't say there was a lot to talk about this week that we haven't already covered.
Correct.
It's everything's gearing up for SummerSlam. All eyes are on SummerSlam next Saturday night, which we'll have a little bit of a different look next week when we're on the show. It'll be both Butters and I in the same room watching SummerSlam. Hopefully it pans out the way I want it to, and everything looks the way I want it to. God fucking willing.
I mean, we got SummerSlam, then we've got what is it? I think All Out September.
Well, we have NXT Takeover the next night.
Oh yeah, NXT Takeover on Sunday. Then we've got AEW potential CM Punk debut in Chicago. I mean, we're stacked the next few weeks of wrestling.
I'll tell you this right now. We're going to do our show next week. We'll do live reactions, and in between, we'll probably preview TakeOver, right? We'll mix TakeOver in between, like during matches and things like that.
Sounds great.
And then we'll have our recap show for both of those the following week. My boldest prediction is I think next week we kick off not next week, in 2 weeks, we kick off this program by saying, oh no, it would be next week. I think we spend the first few minutes of next week's show talking about CM Punk being on AEW.
Either the debut or the non-debut. Because, I mean, at this point, AEW's got to do something. They got to pull something out of their ass, or they're just going to look kind of goofy with mud on their face at this point.
But all right, we're gonna pay some bills. We're gonna get the hell out of here. I'm tired. It's been a week. I'm spent. So, Body Check Wellness is a line of products that promote balanced wellness and recovery by using the full potential of hemp. They come in extracts, blends, and gummies and topicals. Use promo code A2D for 25% off your order at bodycheckwellness.com. Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy. He's our doc. Make him yours. Burlington and Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Or right here at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Many of us and our families deal with mental health and addiction issues. We're happy to support the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. If you need mental health therapy or addiction detox, please call 856-651-8117. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, or if you're looking for a change in career brokerage, contact Alan Foy of eXp Realty, LLC at 302-682-8820. Excuse me. Or visit him at alan.foy@exprealty.com. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. That's A2D in the checkout for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Guys, don't forget, we have shows every single night here on A2D Radio. We do have on for our YouTube watchers. You pay $9.99 a month. You get to become a member of the A2D family. What does that give you? Well, that gives you appearances on shows, members-only streams, special shout-outs, and weekly sports picks for the Money Pot Podcast. Like I said earlier, Nate Moss and his team every Sunday, they have the Money Pot Podcast here on A2D Radio, and throughout the week, they will give you easy ways to make some little cash in your pockets. So if you're not a member, what are you waiting for? It's $9.99 a month. Saves you a cheeseburger or two. Shut the hell up, eat from home, and be a member of A2D Radio's YouTube family. For Two Live Brew, George Kennebrew, for Mr. Six Sides, Pete Evans, for the mayor of Toasty Town himself, Butters, I'm Rich. We're going to see you guys next week right here on A2D Radio for our WWE SummerSlam prediction show. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Football season's coming. That is this channel's bread and butter. Make sure you're checking out everything every single night. We'll see you guys later. Peace, love, and joy. We out.